Hi, it's me again. How's everybody doing? Did you enjoy your Thanksgiving if you celebrate? I did. It was quiet and I did a lot of laundry, but it was still oddly nice. It was just nice. It was a nice day for us, and we've only got a little bit of turkey left. My 13-year-old, he's eating it all. But we are now in 'tis the season territory, and I'm happy about it. My house is like completely decked out. There's glitter fucking everywhere, and I love it. So I am still working on Threads of Malice. I'm actually getting to the point where I was sitting next to my youngest while he was doing his online school and reading, and he kept wanting to talk to me, and I was getting really irritated with him because, like, I think I know who the bad guy is in this. I'm not sure, but we're getting there. I think I know who it is. I mean, who knows? I was way off in Ghost in the Snow, so we'll see how bad I messed up this time. But we're having, what's interesting about this book is there are a lot of people being set up as, well, maybe it's this person. Well, maybe it's this person. Well, maybe it's this person. You were being forced to look directly at only one person in Ghost in the Snow. And it was, the question was, is it a red herring, or, I don't know how to react to this writer's style. But we've got a lot to choose from. There's like a whole pool of shady characters in this book who's doing these horrible murders. And I think I know who it is. I think. And I'm starting to get irritated with people when they interrupt my reading. But I'm getting there, and we will talk about it soon. I am working on it. I mentioned last week that I wanted to finish a short story for an anthology submission, and I did it. I finished it. I typed the end. I submitted it. I don't think I'm going to get in. The story went away that I don't think it checks all the boxes that this anthology is wanting, which is okay. It's fine. I finished the story, and I'm really happy about that because it's been too long since I've done that. So yay. What I want to do today is talk about Christmas movies, and the ones that are maybe, not your typicals. Now, I love Christmas movies. I really love Christmas movies, and I'm not a discerning person necessarily. Like, I love Christmas with the Cranks, which is, it's an absurd movie. It's not good. It's the one with Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis, where it came out, and I'll say just a few years ago, and watch, it came out like 12 years ago. Recently-ish is when it came out. And it's based on a John Grisham story, so it's like way out there in left field. But as I was putting up decorations this weekend, my husband was kind of grousing at me that I never put old Christmas movies in the rotation for our Christmas movie watching when we're, watching movies with the kids and stuff. And I know I was making this face because I hate old Christmas movies. I'm talking old Christmas movies. I hate those movies. Again, not discerning, Christmas with the Cranks, but I can't stand those movies. Like, It's a Wonderful Life. I hate that movie. I think I hate Jimmy Stewart. But I hate that movie. I hate that squealing little kid. I hate every line that Jimmy Stewart says. I hate that movie. And my mom has, in recent years, like maybe the past 5 years, she's become obsessed with White Christmas. So she had me up there a couple years ago and was like, oh, come sit and watch the movie with me. And I know I was making this face. What the fuck with that movie? First of all, it's really long. Second of all, what's the story? That movie is nothing but costume changes and dance routines, which, fine, but why do I have to sit through 2 hours of it? No, that movie's terrible. Miracle on 34th Street, terrible. I don't like these movies. So I made a list of Christmas movies that are maybe a little off. You've seen a lot of these. Okay, number 1 on my list is Die Hard. Everybody talks about Die Hard. I'm putting it on my list because this is a movie that I avoided for a really, really long time. for some odd reason, saw the sequels before I saw the original. I grew up watching the sequels, and I never liked them. Okay, so I grew up with a father who's like super duper macho man. He was an amateur bodybuilder, and he worshipped Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I grew up watching all of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I've seen Pumping Iron too many times. But I grew up equating Bruce Willis with funny stuff. He was more of a funny guy. And in the sequels to Die Hard as John McClane, he's more of your traditional tough guy. And I didn't like it. Okay, so let's use another example, a recent one, like The Fifth Element. Even in that, I mean, he's a tough guy. He knows what he's going to do, but he's still kind of funny. He doesn't have control of the situation as much as he tries to. Even though he ends up prevailing, there's a lot of bumbling happening in that movie. And it's not that doesn't happen so much in the sequels to Die Hard, so I had no interest in watching this movie until I guess my husband had just had enough of me being like this and was like, no, you're going to sit down and watch it. Summer, it has Alan Rickman in it, which, okay, that made me shut up, and I sat down and watched it, and it's a good movie. Totally appropriate for Christmas time, but also a good movie. In that movie, John McClane, when he calls that dispatcher and screams at her because she doesn't want him on that line or on that frequency, it's a great movie. Love it. Totally great Christmas movie. Gremlins. Duh. Absolutely Christmas movie. Actually, that would probably make one of my top 50 favorite movies across all genres. I love Gremlins. What's next? Better Off Dead. If you are unfamiliar with this movie, this is an 80s movie starring a very young John Cusack. And it's a really, really, really weird movie. And only a part of it takes place during Christmas. There will be a few on this list where, I'm hitting the thing, where only a few take place during Christmas. And a lot of them, maybe only a scene or two take place at Christmas. But this movie is so weird. And it's just a movie, I grew up watching it. And I've always loved it. My friends love it. We quote this movie all the time. It's a weird, weird movie. But I watch it every Christmas. Black Christmas, the original. So this is a Bob Clark movie. And it's a really good movie. Like, a really good movie. But Bob Clark, he made my all-time favorite Christmas movie, which is A Christmas Story. He also made, okay, so the next movie I'm going to reference, I'm old enough that I can admit these movies are highly problematic, but I'm also old enough that I was raised to think some of this stuff was funny. He made Porky's, and I still really like Porky's. I think that is a series that did The Impossible Witches. The second movie is actually funnier than the first. That scene in the restaurant, come on. The third movie's garbage, but Bob Clark made Black Christmas, and it's a great movie. It is a great movie. The ending, endings are hard with storytelling, you guys, and this one did a really good job. It's ambiguous, and it's like, at first you're like, what? Huh? Love it. What's next? Batman Returns. Okay, so I was a kid when the Tim Burton Batman movies were coming out. I remember this. And Michael Keaton is absolutely my Batman. I've watched all the other ones. I've watched the gritty ones. And I've always been of the opinion that when it comes to Batman, the villains have always been more interesting than Batman himself. And I think Tim Burton really did a good job showing that off. Jack Nicholson as the Joker in the first one is fantastic. But honestly, this second one, this movie's really good. But this movie is also visually stunning, and it's a Christmas movie. It takes place around Christmas. There's snow everywhere. There's Christmas trees all over Gotham. There's a gigantic Christmas tree in Wayne Manor. It's a fantastic Christmas movie. I actually made my kids watch this for the first time last year, and they totally dug it. It's a great movie. Number 6, Jack Frost. So this movie's weird, but it's really, like, maybe because I'm a lifelong horror fan that I could laugh at it. I don't know if everybody would laugh at it, but I thought this movie was freaking hilarious. Weird movie, loved it. I don't know if I'll make it an every year kind of thing, but I did like it. Santa's Sleigh. This movie stars Bill Goldberg as the most pissed off Santa I've ever seen. This one didn't do it for me. My husband loved it. I thought this one was just a little too silly. You have to be really out in silly land for me to be like, okay, that's too much. This one was too much for me. Silent Night, Deadly Night. Now, this is one I haven't seen. I made a list to fill in some holes for myself. Silent Night, Deadly Night is definitely on my to-do list. Gotta watch it, gonna get to it. The Gingerbread Man. Haven't seen this one either. Very interested. The creature effects look ridiculous, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Same thing with Christmas Evil. Christmas Evil. Looking forward to it. Edward Scissorhands. Another Tim Burton movie, and you know, if it's going to be Tim Burton, it's going to have a look. And I'll tell you something. Of all the gothic movies that I've watched, of all the, you know, haunted house movies that I've watched, that neighborhood with the monochromatic kind of salt box houses where they all look exactly the same but they're painted a different pastel color, that creeps me out way more than an old house full of cobwebs. There's something really unsettling about that. Also, I really like the movie. The whole thing just looks fantastic. I love it. What we got next? Eyes Wide Shut. This is a movie my husband hates. This movie makes him uncomfortable as hell because of the things that are hinted at and said not said between the married couple of Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise in this movie. I think it's a great movie. I don't think it's as great as my mom thought it was when it first came out. My mom made things kind of weird with the whole sex club thing. You know, we won't get into details, but I think it's a great movie. I like a lot of Stanley Kubrick movies. I don't like all Stanley Kubrick movies. Case in point, The Shining. But I do really like Eyes Wide Shut. The Ref. So, this is a movie I've loved since I was a kid. I mean, it's a 90s movie. It's very 90s. Like, holy crap, this movie is so 90s. But it does star Kevin Spacey. And that's something I'm still struggling with because there are movies that Kevin Spacey starred in that are amazing. And his co-stars are amazing. And I'm uncomfortable watching them, but I still really like the movies. You know what I mean? So The Ref is good despite Dennis Leary. I don't know how to explain to you that Dennis Leary had a place that was very specifically 90s. And then it kind of got old. I know he had that show. What was it called? It was where he was a firefighter. And I think it was on FX. And he got all kinds of praise for that. But his shtick as the angry, wise-ass smoking guy, it got old really fast for a lot of people. And it gets kind of old in this movie. The movie is really good because of Judy Davis and Kevin Spacey. And it's got Christine Baranski in it. I love everything Christine Baranski does. It's a good movie, and it's a great Christmas movie. It's weird. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Gina Davis, Shane Black. Come on. Come on. You've Got Mail. Now, I've told you before, I'm not a romantic person. I don't judge people who love rom-coms. It actually kind of pisses me off that it's something that gets looked down at by a lot of people, men. But, I mean, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. And by and large, it's not my thing. But I can't help it with this Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan shit. They're delightful. And I consider this movie a Christmas movie because the height of Meg Ryan's crisis happens at around Christmas time in this movie. And it's they rely heavily on a Christmas mood with the sadness and stuff. I love this movie. I consider it a Christmas movie. All right. In Bruges. This is a movie I haven't seen. This is a movie I understand I must see. I will be fixing it. Why is this one on here? Is that a Christmas movie? While You Were Sleeping. Again, Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan shit. I actually don't love this movie a whole lot. It's a little too touchy-feely for me, but I love Bill Pullman. Bill Pullman is so weird in that movie. The Apartment. This is an older movie made in the 50s or 60s. Is this what I'm thinking of? It has Shirley MacLaine in it. I need to watch it again. I watched it once a long, long time ago. It's a good movie. Let's see. Long Kiss Goodnight. This one I haven't seen. Or am I mixing it up with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang? God, you guys, I really could have done better. I'm sorry. Long Kiss Goodnight. I don't think this one I've seen. All right. Lethal Weapon. We're back to Shane Black. I like Shane Black's stuff. He likes to write movies that take place around Christmas. I know Mel Gibson, like, it's the same thing as with Kevin Spacey. I was watching this movie as a kid, and the first and second Lethal Weapon, they're really good movies. And it's a shame Mel Gibson had to be such a, like, anti-Semitic rage monster, because he's so good in these movies. And I don't know how I feel about it. I'm saying it because, and putting it out there because there are some people who are able to separate the two, who are able to still enjoy the movie and not see the kind of problematic asshole actor. I don't know. I had more time with Mel Gibson prior to that bad meltdown of his than I did Kevin Spacey. I don't know. I feel weird about it, and feeling weird about it just kind of ruins the watching experience. I don't know what to do about it. Trading Places. Trading Places is a movie my husband and I watch every Thanksgiving night after, family is left, after all the dishes have been done. We watch Trading Places. It is the beginning of the holiday season for me. Love this movie. Yeah, I just freaking love this movie. Trapped in Paradise. This is another one I have not watched. We'll be remedying it. Tales from the Crypt 72. This is a great movie. I put it on here because there's one segment that takes place at Christmas. One of the tales. And it's one of those things where they didn't splurge in this movie on sets and stuff. There are a couple places where it very much looks like a plywood set. But there's still a look to this. And the story's great. You should watch that movie. I don't know. I think I saw it a couple of years ago on Shudder. But you should definitely get on that. The Ice Harvest. Another one I have not seen. We'll be fixing. And then the last one on this list is Mixed Nuts. I have not seen. So I will be catching up with that. I actually re-upped my Shudder subscription because of the Ghost Writers podcast. I have to, have something horror related to report on every week. So, maybe I'll report on a few horror Christmas movies this month, which I'm looking forward to. I like the ritual of this month. I like everything's bright, everything's pretty, everything's blinky, and it only stays a short time. I think if it lasted any longer, I'd get sick of it, but it's only up for a month, and then it's gone. And then it's back to everything being normal and cold. So I enjoy it while it's here. And I hope, I lost my remote. I hope everything is good with you guys. I hope you are enjoying life. I know things are freaking tense right now. I talked to a dear friend the other day on the phone who had to get a COVID test at work because they were in contact with someone. I had another that has actually happened to two friends and a friend's spouse. I hope we make it through this. And when we do, we're going to have us a big old party. I can't wait until the next convention when all of this is safe again. Everybody is going to be silly, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And I want to thank you all for being here with me, and I wish you all well. So let's do the remote thingy, and bye.